Coming to you live from Philly. It's the number one rated Paulie and Tony Fusco show. As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony. Huge show today. We got some unsubstantiated but pretty true-sounding rumors about what's really going on in the beef between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. And also why the Juan Soto $765 million contract is not a lot of money at all.
Absolutely.
And our guest today, last week our guest, Jay Gruden, terrible, just failed to understand how shaving a head could help an NFL coach like it's helped Sirianni. Well, we're going to bring on someone who is bald and played football, Marcellus Wiley.
Yep.
And also, Tony, he's been doing these videos about other people's sports takes.
Yeah.
He's never done a single one about ours. So we're going to be asking him about that.
You know what it probably is our takes are so perfect, there's really nothing to say about them.
Oh, yeah, good point there, Tony. Oh, one annoying development to tell you about. Again, in this world of misinformation, inaccuracy has struck yet again, hasn't it, Tony?
Totally.
We just received word that this show has once again been nominated for Best Sports Comedy in the Sports Podcast Awards. Now, as you know, last year the show won the award, even though it's clearly not a comedy.
Maybe they think it's funny how right we are all the time.
Another great point there, Tony. Well, I guess if you want to vote for, most right comedy, you can go vote for us by clicking the link in the description. And hold on just a moment here. What the hell's going on here? Our producer looks like he's in a bathroom or something. I just see out on a monitor, Tony. Where the hell are you?
Where are you?
I'm in Mexico.
What the are you doing in Mexico?
Don't worry about it. I'm producing the show.
Don't worry. I'm
worry.
worried you're going to come back alive.
Yeah, exactly. We're worried you're going to be able to get back into America. That's what we're worried.
By the way, if you're listening to this right now, if you happen to run a drug cartel in Mexico, well, you know what to do.
Adios, producer.
Yeah, enough out of you. Anyway, let's just get right into our top story.
Top story.
All right, first out the gate, people, morons. They're saying the Eagles didn't get a quality win against the Panthers on Sunday since they only won by a score of 22-16. But Tony, what do we always say? A win is a win.
Exactly. I mean, look at Jake Paul. He beat the greatest fighter of all time, Mike Tyson. Yep. A win is a win. Yep. So what if Mike Tyson was basically a senior citizen? Yep. In the future, when people read historical records like Wikipedia, all they're going to see is that Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson.
Yep.
And they're going to put him in the Parthenon of greatest fighters ever. It's going to be number 1, Mike Tyson. Yep. Number 2, Rocky Balboa. Yep. Number 3, Evander Holyfield. And then number 4, Jake Paul.
Terrific future perspective there, Tony. And now to our take last week that just went mega viral. I mean,
like crazy.
All our takes go viral, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, we said Jalen Hurts should be co-MVP with Saquon because he's the one handing off the ball, and handing off is important. Well, there are some idiots out there coming up to us, Tony, and saying things like, that makes no sense. We got to explain this again, I guess. So, Tony, you had one of those great analogies you always have. Give those idiots some perspective.
Yeah, think about when doctors deliver babies and then hand them off to their mother. Yep. Imagine if doctors were just fumbling babies. There'd be babies splattered like tomatoes all over the place.
Yep.
It would destroy the human population and end humanity as we know it. Yep. So if you don't vote Jalen Hurts for co-MVP, you're not only anti-humanity, you're pro-extinction.
100% agree, Tony. Whenever I hear a baby's born, I don't congratulate the mom. I congratulate the doctor on a flawless handoff.
Of course, so do I. Of course.
Well, now let's get into this beef between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. There are rumors we've been hearing from a very trusted deli counter worker who works right near the stadium.
Right there.
That the beef between Jalen and A.J. is over the fact that Jalen Hurts had, let's just say, an entanglement with someone very close to AJ. Now, people say if this is true, it's poor form by Jalen. Tony, I don't think so at all. Do you?
Not at all. What's the most important thing in football? the connection between a quarterback and his wide receiver.
Yep.
And what better way to have a connection than by having, an entanglement, let's call it, exactly, with you two and, somebody else potentially. It's just another way for Jalen and AJ to discuss how they approach, formations and positions and finding holes in the defense and encouraging someone to go deep on those balls. It's such a perfect bonding experience and opportunity.
Yeah, and people, morons, they say it affects the workplace. What? Yeah, only if you're totally unprofessional.
Yeah, I mean, look at me and our producer. I have an entanglement with his mom at least twice a week, but we still show up and do our jobs. Well, I do my job. I don't know what the doing back there.
Wherever the he is in Mexico. Yeah. Oh, look, he's angry again. He's angry.
So unprofessional.
You know what would be bueno if you just turned off your camera?
Exactly.
Anyway, let's move on. In other news, Bill Belichick has accepted the job to become the head coach at the University of North Carolina. Now, some people are saying this is a shocking development and bizarre career move, but Tony, this makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Of course. Bill Belichick is great at scouting young talent, and UNC has tons of it. Not on the football team, but on the cheerleading team. I analyzed the UNC cheerleading team IG account, and I did spot some great prospects that Belichick could date. I mean, I hate to say it, but his girlfriend is getting a little long in the tooth. I mean, she's almost 2 or 3 years out of college. In fact, I analyzed a recent picture of her, and unfortunately, I did notice a little wrinkle just under her right eyelid, and I thought, So, they say do what you love, and Belichick, that's coaching football and banging hot young cheerleaders.
Just terrific analysis and research, Tony. And now moving to baseball, where the big story, of course, is Juan Soto leaving the Yankees to sign with the Mets, who offered him 15 years, $765 million. Now, people, they're saying this is a lot of money. Tony, no.
What about inflation? Doesn't anyone watch the news? $765 million was basically just $300 million just 4 years ago. And Juan Soto is in New York, and you can't live there on just $51 million a year. Where's he going to live? That barely gets you a studio apartment in Manhattan.
Yeah, and who the hell is representing this guy? I mean,
no idea.
You go play for the Yankees, well, at least he got a chance to win the World Series, once every 20 years. But you go play for the Mets, well, never.
Yeah, that's like dumping your decent-looking girlfriend for her way less attractive friend because she has way more money. I did that, and let me tell you, while we did go out to fancy dinners, I did have to wear a blindfold the whole time and ended up barfing up many of those meals when the blindfold would slip down. So I don't recommend it.
No. But on the subject of what we do recommend, it's time for a word right now from our good friends at Quaker Oats Old-Fashioned Steel Cut Oats.
Hold on.
What are you doing talking?
Why are you talking?
Did you see the email?
What?
Well, Quaker canceled the deal.
What are you talking about?
What?
They said the show isn't brand safe because of the content and wanted no association with it.
Well, how do we know oatmeal is safe?
Yeah.
I saw an article once on Breitbart that said steel-cut oats might actually contain bits of steel. I saw it in an article.
I saw it too.
Yeah, you never know. What brand is safe now?
Yeah, exactly. Who's brand safe now?
Exactly.
I mean, they're the ones killing people with oatmeal. Anyway, stop talking. Yeah. I see our guest coming on the line anyway, so go answer that. And All right, let's just bring our guest on the Fusco Satellite Network.
Fusco Satellite Network.
This guy. We do have a little bit of a bone to pick with him, don't we, Tony? Which we will get into soon enough. But at first, let's just give him a couple props here. He did play defensive end for 10 seasons in the NFL, made the Pro Bowl in 2001. And, he's really gone on to a pretty successful career in sports media, if you don't count those 2 years he had to work with Jason Whitlock. Anyway, let's bring him in here. Marcellus Wiley, welcome back to the show.
What's up, Paulie? What's up, Tony? How you guys doing?
Good, bro.
Doing great now that you're here. Because, last week, we had on former Washington coach Jay Gruden. one of the worst guests we have ever had. We tried to explain how Nick Sirianni shaving his head has helped him become a better coach. Obvious. But, Gruden with that soft, beautiful hair of his didn't understand. But you, however, you're wearing a hat right now, but we all know, there you go. Underneath that hat, just smooth as
very
a baby's
smooth
bottom. So that leads to our opening question here. Were you always bald? And if so, did you notice you got smarter as you got balder?
Oh man, no, I wasn't always bald. It was a crazy time when I finally became bald. It was like 11th grade. I went through all the phases. So I had the high top, I had the Jerry curl.
Wow.
The Stay Soft Fro curl activator, Coming to America, plastic on the couch. I did it all. And I had this curly top at the time. One of my boys played a prank on me. I wanted him to cut my hair. He cut it right down the middle. Train track, said nothing left.
No.
Yeah. So then I let
Three
it all go
Stooges cut.
because I had to. What else was I to do? Went to my next class. One girl said, "It doesn't look that bad. You actually look a little cute." And that was the time when Michael Jordan was rolling. And I took my Michael Jordan looking self and tried to run with it. So I've been bald ever since.
I'm curious. What was your sack numbers like your junior year in high school with the Jerry curls versus bald like your senior year in high school? How did that affect your sack numbers?
When we say sack numbers on the field.
Yeah, not in the sack.
Yeah. Okay, clarify, because we were talking about women and then you went to sack.
Yeah, we don't want to lose the audience.
I apologize. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was a running back, so I didn't even get sacks. I didn't play defensive line to my junior year of college. So in high school, you can ask me how many touchdowns I had, and I would say it increased slightly, but I was pretty good before and pretty good after. Same OG.
Well, all right, we got the hair out of the way. Let's see how that brain inside that head is working.
Yeah,
all right?
let's see.
We have an unsubstantiated but kind of true-sounding rumor from a very trusted deli counter worker who works near the stadium that Jalen might have gotten himself into, an entanglement, as they say, with someone very close to A.J. Brown. Now, people are saying that's a bad thing, but, don't you think the connection between the QB and receiver is so important? Maybe an entanglement brings them closer.
That's good chemistry.
They're more entangled.
Yeah. Hey, look, I think that's a trusted source because you do get to spend a lot of time with somebody when they're ordering their sandwich. Depends on how many condiments they want. Depends on what you really are placing.
It sounds like Jalen might have ordered a sandwich too, if you catch my drift. But okay, back to you.
Who is Jalen ordering the sandwich for? Is he by himself? 2, is he over there talking while he's ordering? And you can eavesdrop, ear hustle, hear some things. So I trust your source.
Exactly.
You're a journalist. You're a journalist.
Jalen's in there ordering, can I have 2 sandwiches, 1 roast beef, and then a vegan sandwich? You got to wonder, wait a minute, who's that for?
Who's that for?
Look, every locker room fight is around 2 things. How much and what's her name? That's
there
it.
you go.
Wow.
See, he knows
Look
it.
at that.
Yes.
There you go. That just proved the rumor. Did you ever get yourself into, an entanglement?
Nah, luckily I did not. I've been in some.
You'd figure
I've
with
had
that
some
bald
teammates-
head, you might have, but okay, the lady.
I mean, look, there's enough people to go around this world, enough beautiful women. So why would I have to entangle with yours? With that said, I've had a teammate marry my ex. I've had another teammate date my ex. So I guess I've been AJ Brown in this situation before where, hey, Jalen, what you up to? If that's what the reports are saying. But I've seen it happen before, and you can handle it peacefully if you're being mature about it. Not that dear.
Didn't you want to kick that jerk in the balls?
I ain't like it. I thought that you could chase somebody else instead of my ex, but at the same time, they did get married. Now they're divorced. Yeah, so they did it the right way.
But they got divorced.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't a fling, but it turned into a divorce. But hey, that's life. So I wasn't too hurt once I knew that he was real about dating her instead of just trying to go behind me and trying to mess up her life.
And I ask you a question. Did this other man have hair or was he,
Great follow-up.
A little hair. A little Michael Jordan.
Oh, see, that's your mistake
winning.
there. Maybe she just liked a little more up top. Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's get to more football subjects. Let's talk the Chiefs. Okay. People say the refs have been helping them all year. Okay. When you look back at your career, do you regret not forming a closer bond with the referees so they could help your teams? Like they helped Patrick Mahomes and all that.
Oh man, y'all don't believe that hype. I love when people don't get what they want. The first thing they do is blame or conspiracy. Man, them refs ain't helping the Chiefs. The Chiefs are helping the refs because the Chiefs keep putting themselves in those positions that make the refs say, "Hey, if you don't turn around, it is pass interference. Hey, if you guys don't want to actually finish
Sorry,
this game,
I
just
don't
snap
mean
the
to give
ball."
into conspiracies, but how much does the NFL pay you per year?
How much are the referees paying you for this?
I'm just curious.
I was on the bad end of the Music City Miracle. The referees went against us in the Buffalo Bills. So I'm not on the payroll. Matter of fact, I wish there were a payroll to be on like the Kansas City Chiefs are being accused of doing. People just don't like winners and they hate losers. And they hate when they're the loser. And that's why they're blaming
You
these
sound very
referees.
bitter. On that note, I think I know. You did say you're a former Bill. Is this time of year hard for you when you're watching the team play well and you just know it's all going to crumble and collapse in their faces?
Well, I'm a Bill and a Charger, so I get it.
There you go.
times.
There you go. Double collapse.
Hey,
Yeah,
how
double
about this?
collapse.
I'm also a Cowboy, so sometimes I'm not
Triple.
even in
I
it.
mean, they already
Yeah.
collapsed, but yeah.
And what about Jacksonville? They don't even give you a
Yeah,
shot.
your whole career is a pile of rubble right now. I mean,
Not looking good,
yeah,
bro.
you're not good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it reminds me of the Eagles. Yeah. It's
Oh,
like,
no, that would remind you of winning,
9-0
bro.
streak right now,
No.
going straight to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Only
exactly.
time you win is when your backup shows up. Other than that, you're not winning with this
Oh.
team.
No,
Oh.
not this year. We got Saquon,
Your
bro.
backup stole your girlfriend. Don't forget
Yeah,
that. Right?
exactly.
That was he was the backup to you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's called bringing it all together.
Yeah,
people.
good job there.
I like
All right,
what
hold
you
on.
did there.
You mentioned you were on the Cowboys. All right. You were a Cowboy in 2004, right? They went 6-10 that year. When you see them suck so much this year, does that make you feel better? Because it makes them forget how much the team sucked when you were on it?
There's a part of that every time. Right?
Yeah, there you
when
go.
you leave a team and then they're bad, you're like, yeah. And when they're good, you're like, damn, I thought I was good.
Well,
I
you
thought
never
I
have to
had a
worry
good
about
time.
with the Cowboys, so okay.
Right.
Or any of
But-
your teams, really. Okay.
Calm down. No, the Chargers are doing well this year. The Chargers and the Bills are doing well. We're doing as well as you guys are because we know you guys are fool's gold. So I love it.
Oh, you see? Are you kidding? We're on a record streak right now.
Yeah,
Fool's
yeah.
gold.
And how good you look. Your receiver and your quarterback beefing over beef. They beefing over some girl. You guys are knowing what this is going to turn into.
No.
McNabb T.O.
Don't-
2.0. Get
No.
close, but not-
No.
See, McNabb and T.O. never had an entanglement.
No, we wish they would have had better chemistry.
They would have had better chemistry.
Yeah,
That
Donovan was over there throwing up. That's the problem.
Talking about beef. All right, let's get to the beef we have with you. Okay. When you seen these YouTube videos you put out,
Yeah.
you're talking about what all these sports media heads are saying. You've never once done a video about one of our takes. Is that just because they're too good? You got nothing to
There's
add?
nothing to disagree with.
Yeah, I usually pick the ones who step in it, who mess up, or who say something that I disagree with. But everything you guys say, I agree with. But now I got one. I didn't know that you guys were so gung-ho on the Eagles actually winning. I thought you were just thinking like me, they were
Wait.
going to fool us all. But now since you really think they're going to
You
win,
know
Guess
what?
what?
Doug?
I'ma do
You know
one.
what? I'm going to
Guess
dump
what?
you like your girlfriend's dumped
Right
you.
off the
and
show.
take you off
Guess
the
what?
show.
You're done.
Off
You're
the
done.
show.
You cut.
Don't
You're
ever-
up. Guess
terrible
what?
take. Go make a
The truth
YouTube
hurts.
video about how terrible
The
you
truth
are.
hurts.
Guess
Yeah.
what? Make a video about being off the
Very
show.
good.
Fusco Satellite Network.
Yeah, you guys, hey, you can run from the truth like Saquon runs, but
Why are
you
you
can't
still
hide.
talking?
Why is he
No,
doing
man.
hang up
They
on
have a
this
hang up
guy?
button in Mexico. Now is he off the line?
Jay, hang up the phone.
We managed to find the one dumb bald person in the entire continental United
Yeah,
States.
the only one. We got him on the show.
Let's not let him ruin, which was otherwise a terrific show. Of course, we don't want to thank Quaker
wait.
Oats and
Yeah. Thanks for nothing.
Someone else we don't want to thank.
Oh, here we go.
It's
Speaking of
Senor
thanks for
Producer
nothing.
down in Mexico.
Yes,
Corrections.
senor. What do you want,
Correct.
senor?
Go.
You were saying Juan Soto's contract isn't that big because due to inflation, $765 million was only $300 million 4 years ago.
Yeah, out of control inflation, bro.
Blame Biden, bro.
That would be more than a 100% inflation rate. You obviously have no idea how inflation works.
Oh, yeah, well, you know what I'm not going to inflate? Your life preserver when I drop you in the ocean.
Yeah, and if you want to see deflation, just look down your pants.
Wait, he's still talking.
He's still
there.
going, what?
You said that Evander Holyfield and Jake Paul's wins over Mike Tyson are equal?
Yeah, bro.
A win is a win, bro.
No.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson was 58 years old when he fought Jake Paul, and they only fought 2-minute rounds.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to get out my machine gun and fire 2-minute rounds into your sternum.
Yeah. And you know what shouldn't count? That little flap of skin you call a penis. Oh, you're
And
done.
by the way, it's not Parthenon. It's Pantheon.
Well, we're going to put you in the Parthenon of douchebags.
You're done. Someone in the pantheon of great guests and quarterbacks. Booked next week on the show, Justin, Super Bowl hero, future Hall of Famer Nick Foles will be here. Hey, don't forget, visit the merch store, buy up all the merch for your friends and family for Christmas. They will thank you profusely. And don't forget, rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. And Tony, great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week.
See ya.